Hello there.
Howdy.
What's up?
How you guys been?
Oh, we're doing fine, Mike. How you doing?
All right. Well, on with the show.
I'm doing just fine now.
You know what I think is one of the worst parts of the Bible?
No. How can you say it?
Well, just see what you think. When it talks about people having a hard heart.
Oh, yeah. I don't like that either.
Uh-huh.
Makes me uncomfortable.
I mean, you have it in the Old Testament. You have it in the New Testament, like in Hebrews chapter 3, where it actually says, as the Holy Spirit says, today if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts. Ho! And then about less than 10 verses later, it says, as it is said, today if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts.
Yes.
And you're like, okay, I won't harden my heart. But I don't think we just say, okay, today I'm going to have a hard heart.
No, that's not generally speaking how it works.
I've heard it said that one way that we harden our hearts is by having a victim mentality.
Ooh.
And thinking that basically, I mean, maybe even directly we don't think this, but it's like, I deserve better than this. And ultimately, if you're saying that, how are you not basically believing that, like, God's not being good to me, like as he should be?
Yeah, that reminds me of the verse that says, like, basically, how can the created one say to the creator, you shouldn't have done it like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. And I do think that, like, the Bible talks about avoiding a root of bitterness in your heart. And that imagery just being that once it gets there, it just starts to infiltrate everything. And then things will get hardened, like you're talking about.
Hardening your heart. It's a weird thing. We don't talk about it really. It's kind of just this Bible idea.
Yeah.
But here's some other words that surround it in the passage that we're looking at here, Hebrews 3. Unbelieving. So maybe hardening your heart is not letting yourself be in belief about God's power or goodness in your life.
Yeah.
Here's something, the opposite of hardening your heart. Encouraging one another every day. So it says that you won't be hardened by the deceitfulness of sin. So actually the hardening of your heart, of my heart, is actually a lie. It's actually deceitful. And as we encourage each other, it says we can hold our original confidence firm to the end. So it can be done. It's almost just like letting God do his work instead of blocking it with doubt and self-pity, whatever it might be.
Yeah, that belief in Christ, like, keeps us soft and pliable in his hands to do what he wants in our lives. And ultimately, too, we end up encouraging others along the way like that.
It's time for Jesus and Jazz Food Edition.
Ooh. Yes.
All right. Breakfast coming up.
Always.
Usually about an hour from now.
Yep.
We are in the thick of it.
It's very true.
When it comes to breakfast. Now, does the Bible say anything about breakfast?
Let me think. Nothing's coming to mind.
Well.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
John 21.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, Jesus was making breakfast.
Jesus has 4 words about breakfast. Come and have breakfast.
All right.
Jesus said that. The context being what?
Well, he was on the shoreline, and the disciples, so this is after his resurrection, and the disciples are still, I think, a little bit like disorganized. It's like Jesus is back, but they don't know what's going on. So they're like, well, I guess we'll go fishing. And they're out on their boats. And then all of a sudden, Peter sees Jesus from a distance. And Jesus told them that, like, hey, I know you haven't caught anything all night. Go ahead and cast your net on the other side of the boat. And they're like, wait, this is a flashback. He told us to do this before.
Right.
Peter's like, it's Jesus. And so he jumps out of the boat and swims to him. And Jesus is over there making fish for breakfast.
Grilling on the beach, baby.
Yep.
All right. What does the Bible say about lunch?
Lunch. Jesus fed a whole bunch of people for lunch one time.
5,000.
Yeah.
And then 4,000.
Uh-huh.
And he probably did it other times too, but for sure those 2 times Jesus does lunch.
Yeah.
Turns out a lot of the food references in the Bible are directly Jesus.
Oh, I'm so glad.
All right, let's think about supper.
Oh, the Last Supper, of
Exactly.
course. Yes.
Look at it.
Oh, my word. I've never thought about that.
And it doesn't say a lot about him eating alone. Seems like he's always with people. I'm very sorry. I'm distracted by a beautiful sunrise right now. My goodness.
Wow. It's nice. It's cotton candy.
Wow. Okay. So anyway, Jesus is pro-food, and he usually does it in community. I think that's today's lesson that we've learned.
I think that's a great one.
The word of the day today is knitted.
Knitted?
It starts with an N. N-I-T-I-D. Knitted. It's an adjective. Does it mean A, jocular?
Okay.
You know what that means.
Funny.
Yep. B, vermicious. Or C, bright.
Well, it's not a vermicious knid.
How do you know?
Well, because it's knitted, not knid.
Are you sure?
So, well, no, but...
If she's a lady, I'm a vermicious knit.
Easy for you to say, Poppy. Okay, so you're eliminating...
I'm eliminating number 2. Don't think it's that.
So it's knitted.
Knitted.
Does it mean jocular or bright?
It means bright. Final answer.
That's right.
I am on such a streak right now. This is amazing.
So sometime between now and the end of the show, you're going to hear the word knitted.
That'll be that's not going to just kind of stand out. So you got to be listening close for that one. And when you do, be the first caller to call 866-917-9245, and that'll get you a pair of tickets to see Big Daddy Weave, Megan Woods, and Ben Fuller in Oswego. I believe it is Sunday, March 23rd.
Got it.
7 p.m.
New music from a fella named Bodie, not to be confused with Odie from Garfield, but
Certainly
Bodie
not.
with a B. And
Yes.
it was called Whisper in the Wind. And this is WBGL. Good morning.
Don't you think that Christianity uses a lot of that like terminology with the wind and then there's the waves?
Yeah, I
There's-
mean a lot of churches are named after nature. I was thinking about like here around here we have Meadowbrook Church, we have Stone Creek Church,
Yeah.
we have Willow Creek Church,
Oh yeah,
Harvest Church,
right.
For the Beauty of the Earth Church.
Right. Yeah. And there is a lot in the Bible about like winds and waves, even just imagery, but also like literally we have the story of Peter walking on the water and then he's falling into the water. Jesus grabs him, pulls him back up. And you know, Dane Ortland says this in his book, Gentle and Lowly. He's like, our grip on Christ, we say we're clinging to Christ, we're trying to hold on to him, but our grip is like a 2-year-old's grip. Like it's not anything that's really steadying us.
And it's not really how we're going to stay with God.
No, he's like in the stormy waves of life. That's going to slip. But his sure grasp on us never falters. Psalm 63:8 expresses the double-sidedness of this truth. It says, "My soul clings to you. Your right hand upholds me."
Let me ask you this,
What?
and this is for everybody listening. Are you a business owner or leader that might be looking to connect with others who are walking out their faith in the work world?
No, it's not.
No. Yes.
Oh.
A bit.
All right.
Okay.
You sure?
A little confusing, but all right.
Well, we have WBGL's Coffee and Company event, which is a business networking hang. I think that's what they call it.
Yeah.
Featuring Courtney.
I am going to be there, and it's coming up this Friday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time in Brazil, Indiana at White Pines Manor. And truly just a time that's it's low pressure, and it's definitely an opportunity to connect with others in the business world that love Jesus, and just you never know where it might go.
White Pine Manor. That is like Indiana's premier wedding destination.
Ooh,
So you
I've
could
never been.
Scope it out a little bit.
Hey, I will scope it out a little bit.
So it's this Friday at 8 a.m., and that would obviously be Eastern time.
Yeah.
in Brazil, Indiana. And if you want to get details, you can go to WBGL.org and go under events, and you'll find Coffee and Company in Brazil, Indiana.
Take a night.
This is just for fun. We don't have to do this. You don't have to participate. You can just sit there and listen. We can wait for the next song to come on. That's totally fine. But here's what I was thinking it might be neat to do. If you wanted to text us and give a one-sentence recap on something that happened this weekend and how it made you feel, I'll start.
Okay.
All right. I went out onto my porch and I slipped on some ice, comma.
No.
Really hurt my knee, comma.
No.
And then I was instantly in a bad mood, but I took a nap and then I felt better.
Oh, good. How's your knee today?
It's, I can walk.
Okay.
Praise the Lord, I can walk.
That's very good.
If you want to text us, our number is 866-917-9245. Your one-sentence weekend recap does not have to be as dramatic or as run-on as mine was.
And we hope it isn't as painful either.
Yeah, I hope not.
Yeah.
Or if you don't want to participate in that and you just want to tell us, like, something that you learned or whatever,
Yeah.
and that might be good.
Okay. I can give mine.
Go.
Okay.
Say it.
I had some lovely friends over to my house Saturday evening, comma. There was a taco bar, comma, and brownies, comma. There was wonderful conversation, and we all had a great time, semicolon. And I got to see my brother last night at my cousin's 30th birthday party. Shout out to David. And it just made me feel so good to get to see my brother, even if it was just a couple of hours, period.
Look at that. Happy for you.
Thank you.
If you want to add yours, you can do it. The number is 866-917-9245. Want to just listen and see if you hear other people's? I'll tell you this. I would hang around if I were you, because we have that really good Jeremy Camp song about the same power coming up.
Coming right up.
One of the things I would just ask your help with, anybody listening, is if we're ever talking about something that's boring, please let us know, because we feel like there's enough places out there you can listen to that are boring.
Yep.
And we don't want to be a part of that, but sometimes you can get sucked into it. Is this a boring topic? What is your one-sentence weekend recap?
I don't think so.
Are you sure?
I like it.
Okay.
I like it a lot. Dawn checking in saying her 4-year-old grandson spent the weekend with them. Her heart is exploding with the joy he always brings.
Love it.
Sweet. Yeah, so sweet. And Laura, another grandkid situation, had her grandkids overnight. Best medicine for her heart and soul. They made her heart smile.
God is not against me. That's new from Elevation Worship. And this is WBGL. We're Jonathan and Courtney. Are we still sure that this is not a boring topic?
Yes.
Okay. The topic is, it's your one-sentence weekend recap
Yeah.
or highlight. And Anonymous checking in. Her name is Tony. Never mind. And here's what she said. I had a spa day with my girlfriends and then a yummy Mexican dinner. It was an amazing Sunday afternoon.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
Talk about maxing out the dopamine.
Yes. I'm very jealous, but also, I mean, my weekend had a lot of good stuff like that in it. Now, I want to say a big congrats to Anonymous's son, Parker, who won a state championship in impromptu speaking at the IHSA state speech meet. Yay, God, this friend says. Well, yes, and yay, Parker. Good job.
So let me ask you this. If you go to somebody else's workspace on a Monday and you say, hey, how was your weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Do you really care, or are you just waiting for them to finish so you can say how yours was?
I really do care.
Okay.
Like, I'm not just trying to pat myself on the back here. I'm genuinely interested.
Well, then you'd like to know that Sherry, who is a faithful listening friend, after church yesterday, for the first time, went to Costco.
Oh, Sherry! Congrats!
And she said, my son and I had fun times looking at all the nice items and good food.
It is. It's nice items and good food.
We've been hearing from a lot of listening friends this morning.
Just so happens we've heard this morning from Methodists, at least 3 Catholics,
Okay.
at least 1 Baptist, several non-denoms, a whole car full of Nazarenes, and a cowboy church.
What is this world coming to? How many days can you do the exact same thing over and over and over again, and then do it again the next day, and not get bored of it?
No, I can't do it for very long.
Like how many days do you think?
A week?
Okay. Does that include your routines? Like,
No, I'm excluding things like brushing my teeth and stuff like that.
okay.
I mean,
But what about like you've seen the movie Groundhog Day.
yes.
You know that it's like, you get up and you do what you do. You go to work,
Yeah.
come home from work, you do tasks.
Yes.
Maybe you'll watch a little bit of the television,
Yeah, watch
At
a
night?
little bit of that.
whatever it is. And then you do it again tomorrow. And then you do it again the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And then maybe you might have a couple of days off.
Yes.
And then you do it again the next week.
Right.
And the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And then you have another break.
Yeah.
Next day. You see
I
see the
see it.
you see the trend?
Well, yeah. It's
Okay.
the trend of life.
How do you like it?
Well, I mean, I like to break it up occasionally.
So
you know?
how do you do that?
Well, I mean, definitely something like a vacation, but
Oh, that's true.
I mean,
What? It's not funny.
just like trying to. I wake up in the morning and I think, what is happening today that's out of the ordinary that I can look forward to? What is it? What's the first thing that I can be looking forward to? It's how I operate. So
like, I don't know if you would have that today. It'd be worth sharing, maybe not.
today,
Yeah, I have a phone call today
Oh,
at
yeah.
12:30
oh,
with a good friend.
uh-huh.
I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, good.
And then I'm going to take a nap this afternoon.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, yes.
So do you have anything like that?
Well, yeah, definitely a nap was in my mind, and also considering going to a swing dance class tonight. So that sounds really fun. It's just that it starts when I'm normally going to bed. So I got to weigh my options here. It's going to depend on the nap.
Man, I bet you, even if you don't tell me tonight what you decide, I bet I'll be able to tell in the morning tomorrow whether you went out dancing tonight or not.
Yes.
Pressures of
All right, we got to sing happy birthday to somebody, but first, this guy has a joke for us, I guess. This better be good.
This doesn't really surprise me. There's a new study out that says the average attention span has dropped to only 8 seconds. People were like, why is that? And the researcher said, why is what?
I get it.
I do like that. It's very relatable.
What is? WBGL, good morning. I am Jonathan, and we have Courtney here as well.
If she's a lady, I'm a vermicious knit.
That is not
wow.
nice. Get him out of here. My goodness.
Wait a minute. Strike that. Reverse it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Does that mean I'm the vermicious knid? I would say you're
I don't
more
know.
knitted than a
think so?
knid.
You think so? I don't even know.
WBGL.
WBGL, we're Jonathan and Courtney. I guess we don't have a name for our show. Some people, we have friends, they have like the morning blend or,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
a good morning show.
Yeah.
We don't have that. But I think if we did, we might call it the friendship show or something
I
like
think
that.
so.
So it is a friendship show, and you're always welcome to text us and tell us what you're doing. 866-917-9245.
Amy took it upon herself to do it. She's been listening because especially she's been having anxiety and stress with her job. And she's just like, I just prayed for peace and strength this morning. When I got done praying, I turned up the radio. Right then, I heard a man talking about how God's had perfect timing when the right song came on after he had just dropped his mother off in a nursing home. And
Oh, yeah.
she said, you know what? Even just that little clip was perfect timing for me to hear. And I'm so thankful.
Because really the message is God is here for you.
Yeah,
He has not abandoned you. And you hear it in a story like that.
exactly.
Don't forget, you can always listen online at WBGL.org. Kind of sneak it into your day wherever you can, you know?
Mm-hmm. Take the app with you wherever you go.
Hello there.
I'm a walking, talking miracle. It's Ronnie from Raymond.
Ronnie, what are you doing,
up,
buddy?
Ronnie?
Yeah, I'm working today. I'm happy.
That's not, you don't take that for granted.
No.
Not at my age.
Well, you're up in your, how old are you now?
I'm 74. I'll be
Hey.
75 May 10th. I'm the guy that's got WBGL on all the time and keeps me going.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, buddy.
That's what I'm talking about on the way to a painting job. That's really good, man. We're
Yeah.
happy for you.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful day today, tomorrow. I'm thinking spring.
Let's go. Spring.
Oh, bring it
Come
on,
let's
Ronnie.
go!
Come on.
We got baseball.
Bring
we
it.
got frisbees going all over the
Flowers
place.
getting planted.
We don't got no snow. Get it out.
We're done with it.
It's melted. It's just like my heart. Whenever I hear you guys, my heart just melts. And Jonathan, you're still the sugar in my coffee. That's what it was.
All righty. I don't know what I am, but I'd like to be that. I like that.
Hey, I just want to say hi. So you guys have a great day, okay?
Thank you, Ronnie.
You too, Ronnie.
Appreciate it. And so, how is it? Very rarely, almost never. I will say never. Somebody calls in, talks about sweetness, and it's directed at me. That never happens.
Well, you should receive it.
Listen to Jonathan and Courtney
Just look at it.
What?
Just look at it.
weekday mornings on WBGL.